What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Everybody is familiar with what happened to Dave Chapelle on stage at Netflix's Netflix is a Joke event. And the thing about it is that I didn't want to react to this too early. First, because, all of the footage and things like that is pretty much copyrighted. So I'm not going to deep dive into that. A lot of y'all have already watched the footage, but I think that the most important thing that come out of this is the details that happen afterwards. And that's what I like to wait for. I like to wait for and find out exactly what's going on. I know that this is a photo or a picture of the guy after he got beat up, and so he got stomped into oblivion. You can see that he has bruises on his upper right forehead. His eye is beat up and everything like that. But he had to know that this was coming, right? You know that you're going to get stomped out. You know that something bad has to happen to you. For him to even be able to get through is one thing, but I think that the most important thing, and I want to go over this article that's released that said that the LAPD released images of the weapon that it says the man pointed at Dave Chapelle during that attack. So it wasn't apparently just a tackle or an attack. It was also an opportunity for him to try to bruise or wound or maybe even, least I say, delete Dave Chapelle. So let me just go through this article really quickly. It says that the Los Angeles police say the man who tackled Dave Chapelle on stage Tuesday night at the Hollywood Bowl was carrying a fake gun that featured a blade that folded out, which he pointed at the comedian before security subdued the suspect. Now, I don't remember security subduing a suspect before you tackled Dave Chapelle, but that's a completely different thing. So it's a fake gun and it has a knife or a blade that was on it. This is insane. What times do we live in to where people are attacking comedians or just in general? You see so many trolls online. People are doxing people, and now dudes is attacking people on stage like it's a freaking movie. This is stuff that we used to watch on TV back in the early 2000s and the 90s as far as potential for this type of stuff to happen. Oh, that wasn't real. That's what we used to say. Oh, that wasn't real. But look at this crap. Let me just revisit. Let me see something, because I wasn't even going to look at this really quickly, but I just got to see this real quick. Let me see something. I just got to see this one more time. This dude jumping on stage, and I'm going to go ahead and mute it or whatever. But he tackled him with his hands. But what if he had the knife in his hand prior to that? What if he had the knife in his hand prior to that? This is absolutely insane. If you look at what the heck is going on here, that's crazy. That is nuts. Let me read the rest of this article really quickly. It says, as he was exiting the stage, a male who was a part of the audience jumped onto the stage and tackled the comedian to the ground. That was Dave Chapelle getting tackled. The suspect produced what was later discovered to be a replica handgun and pointed the item at the victim. So he produced this replica and pointed it at Dave. No, he just ran right around the stage. But anyways, Hollywood Bowl informed uniformed security officers who witnessed the incident, engaged the suspect and removed him from the victim and took him into custody. LAPD said Hollywood officers responded and took control of the suspect, who was then cleared to be seen and treated by medical personnel after he got beat down. Here, let me go ahead and show this picture really quickly. That's him. After he got beat down, he was cleared to be able to go and get medical assistance. Jesus Christ. He was identified as a 23-year-old. His whole life is going to be ruined. Right? He's going to catch a felony. Clearly, he probably going to do prison time. He probably going to have to pay some restitution. And his image and his likeness is ruined forever. You get one shot and it's completely ruined. He was being held Wednesday with bail set at $30,000. They might have to put that a little bit higher, because there's no way that a man in a right mind should be able to jump on stage, get in with a replica handgun and knife, and be able to tackle Dave Chapelle. The replica handgun also contained a knife blade, which was recovered and later processed as evidence. What if he had actually, had this whole blade or whatever out? What if he didn't just tackle him, but he tackled him and he stabbed him at the same time? That's pretty scary. This should be a wake-up call for everybody. He was transported to the hospital, treated for injuries. He's arrested for assault with a deadly weapon. Los Angeles Philharmonic. The Los Angeles Philharmonic, which runs the Hollywood Bowl, said it could not comment on specifics of the incident, of course, because you don't want to get sued, liability. Videos taken by the audience members and posted online shows a man running on stage during Chappelle's appearance at the Netflix is a Joke Festival. Iconic outdoor venue in Hollywood. Witnesses reported that Chappelle fought with the man on the floor before he ran off behind the stage on screen, with Chappelle giving chase and security eventually subduing him. Wow. Netflix released a statement. We care deeply about the safety of creators, and we strongly defend the right of stand-up comedians to perform on stage without fear of violence, a Netflix spokesperson said. This is insane, y'all. This is absolutely insane, and it's out of control. And I think that people are not going to be satisfied until something happens or somebody, God forbid, get hurt. Somebody get hurt as a result of something that happens in their life, that happens on stage before everybody, and then it's going to be a shoulda, woulda, coulda blame game instead of it being a reality check right now, and that it's getting out of hand. All of this, you know, we're in the age of social media, right? And in this age of social media and all of the information coming to us, I mean, in an instant, there is no limit to the amount of information that you have. I mean, you can use it for good, you can use it for bad. And unfortunately, as a content creator, what I've been able to see is I don't see the overwhelming majority of the people that are championing the things that are good for us, right? I see people leaning harder into an opportunity to troll, to lambast, to get on people, to empower others in this echo chamber of things that are wrong with us. And it just turns into a Super Saiyan moment in which now you see these idiots running up on stage, and what we thought was a segment of entertainment that was protected as far as comedians, right? Comedians, in my opinion, for the most part, should be off limits. And you see this happening, and this trolling is turning into real life situations. And it's not just the internet no more. I keep telling people, and people say this junk all the time, well, it's just the internet. It's just, no, this is real life. And people are taking this junk serious, and they starting to turn into monsters, and they're taking their own life as far as what the potential that they could be or what they could turn into, and they ruining it in one moment just because they can't control themselves as a result of the things that they take in or the things that they think is passionate to them. It's not just a moment. It's not just civil discourse. It's not just conversation. It's not just the internet. It's turning into a monstrous situation. And you see people completely putting their whole life on the line and putting other people's lives on the line in order to try to get a point across. We got to get some control. We got to stop. We got to start looking in the mirror. We need to start putting protocols and safety in place. And we cannot continue to let trolls just be able to say and do whatever it is that they want to do at the expense of those that are creators, whether you're a comedian, a content creator, a movie star, or whatever. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And it's not going to stop until somebody put a stop to it or something, God forbid, more dramatic happens. And I pray that never happens to anybody, especially Dave Chappelle, because even though I don't agree with Dave Chappelle on a lot of things, I agree with him on most things, and he is super funny, and I don't agree with him on a lot of things. I would never want something to physically, to take somebody's livelihood or their life away as a result of something that I disagree with him about. It's getting crazy out here. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Make sure you tune into the Patreon. We doing some great things in there. We got building a business seminars going on in there when I'm putting my own money up and I'm taking you through the process and allowing you to participate in building a business with me. If you need personal coaching or you want to get in contact with me, go to my website, AntonDaniels.com. Reach out to me from there and we're going to get it popping. And then I'm on all social media now. I just added a Twitter, I added a TikTok, and I got some great things going on, all of those things. So all of that is in the description. I love you. I appreciate you. Make sure you be safe and don't get caught up in this foolishness. It's crazy out here. I love you. Stay safe.